Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. And not your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Hey, folks. Welcome back. Being the holiday season, Christmas time, we like to give presents. Well, let's give ourselves a present. Hillary Clinton is begging Democrats to consider her as alternative to Biden. She won't stop. She will do it until her last breath. She wants to vindicate herself. Are you kidding me? Now, here is an excerpt from that famous delivery of her speech as being voted President of the United States that she couldn't give. Let's hear a part of it. This is Hillary Clinton. Okay. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this one. You're going to hear a lot of sound effects. Miranda Devine said Thursday that Hillary Clinton is begging Democrats to consider her again with her master class in self-pity and delusion. Now, anybody that spends time on the internet, especially YouTube, will get advertisements for master class. I mean, even Gary Kasparov, the ex-world chess champion, I'm a chess person. He has one. Oh, God, all kinds of famous film editors and people that want to start YouTube channels, to art, to just editing, you name any topic that there is, and there's an expert for it, and that's a good thing. And they have what they call their master class, and you sign up so much a month, and you can pick any master class you want to. And it's amazing stuff. There's a lot of great stuff in there. So I can't figure out what category Hillary Clinton is under. There's art, there's entertainment, there's film, there's editing. There's just, I mean, you could name it: cooking, crafts, home improvement things, just self-help stuff. I mean, everything under the sun. What the hell category is Hillary Clinton in? Of course, they say here it's a master class in self-pity and delusion after she tearfully read what was her would-be victory speech if Donald Trump hadn't defeated her in the 2016 presidential election. First of all, it's incredibly arrogant to have a full speech written. It's usually late at night, early in the morning. Everybody's tired. It's been a long, draining day. And you thank everybody. You say that you got a call from your opponent who conceded, and you congratulated him or her on running a good campaign. And they talked about working together, working on the problems of the country, as usual, blah, blah, blah. And just, upbeat, and tomorrow we hit the ground running, that kind of nonsense. It's something she's done a million times without a script. Why the hell would you have a speech written? Miranda Devine, I think it tells you more that the state of the Democratic Party than it does about poor America. That they're even considering Hillary Clinton, that she isn't just being laughed out of the school for popping her head above the parapet, but so desperate and obviously having her hand up and saying, pick me, take me. The master class, so-called, that she gave the other day that people pay $20 a month to watch, and when she read her undelivered victory speech and then cried at the end of it with no real tears, that was her begging the American people and begging the Democratic Party to look at her as an alternative to Joe Biden, because after all, she is younger than him. It's going to be a nightmare. And really the subtext is that only Hillary Clinton, who was so narrowly cheated of victory against Donald Trump in 2016, I love that, narrowly cheated. They got a serious set on them. Only she can save America. Dun, dun, dun. That's her shtick. She won't stop. She will do it to her last breath. She wants to vindicate herself. Now, after she announced this to a group of women in a women's meeting, this was the reaction of the crowd. Nice, huh? It's even funnier. Outside, the press, when she gave her master class on losing presidential elections. This is the same woman, by the way, that was in 3 swing states she didn't even bother to go in because she thought, well, I'm Hillary Clinton. I'm going to win it. I always win it, you know? So she went outside the building after her master class episode, and this is what the press had to say. As you can see today, I'm fooling around with a lot of the sound effects, but this whole thing is hilarious, and I'm saying this is a great Christmas present for us. Oh, poor Hillary. She'll never be president of the United States and hit that glass ceiling that women so desperately need to do. In fact, I remember in the Javits Center in New York City, where her party was supposed to be, where she didn't even have the courtesy to go there in person and thank the thousands of people that were there. As misguided as they were, a lot of them worked their asses off to get her elected, probably harder than she did as the candidate. And though there stood someone else saying, it's late, please go home. So, Hillary supporters, the one that worked their guts out for them, this is their response to you. I mean, think about that for a minute. Just that alone. You couldn't even go there and talk to your supporters. People that were in tears, misguided. They were all misguided. I'm not going to lie. They were misguided and shocked. And they wanted to hear from you. And you said nothing because you couldn't prepare something in advance. I believe it was the next day. Bill Clinton, the former president, looked more heartbroken than you did. Amazing to me. You know, I've always had the notion that as a candidate, especially for a high office like the president, that having a likable personality is important, that people like you as a person. I don't think it's that high on the list. Out of the top 10 reasons, is probably number 8 or 9. Your effectiveness for the position that you're running for, in this case, president. Are you qualified to do it? No, nobody's really qualified to be president of the United States. In fact, the only one right now, frankly, that's qualified, a list of all the people that aren't president now, that can qualify to be president of the United States, well, there's actually several. Several are barred by law from running again, i.e. Barack Obama, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton. All of them are barred from running for president again by federal law. The only one that's even had any presidential experience is Jimmy Carter, who I think's a damn good man but a crappy president, and Donald Trump. So the only ones that are even in consideration at all to be in the presidential race in 2024, there is only one, Donald Trump, because he was president. And I think that he learned greatly. He's a braggart. He likes to brag about his successes and even close to successes. I get that part. I could care less, actually. Use a blowhard sometimes and me. I get it. You know, that's fine. But he did a lot of good when he was under a lot of fire. 4 years as president, all they did was hammer him over the head, especially the last 2 years. Can you imagine trying to do a job that's impossible, that actually ages you 3 times longer than normal? I mean, look at the day. They always do this, the day you're sworn in as president and the day you're leaving as president. And they age dramatically because there's a lot of pressure. It isn't just the hours, it's the stress. You're making decisions that affect millions of people. You imagine being like Abraham Lincoln. Remember in the movie Lincoln, where he goes into the telegraph room towards the end of the movie and tells General Grant not to bring up secession delegates, i.e. the Confederate delegates they were thinking about calling for peace. Leave them where they were, which caused the fiasco in the war, I should say the battle in Petersburg. And as you walked through Petersburg and saw the thousands and thousands of Americans laying dead everywhere, the destruction and the chaos and the death, knowing that telegram, he killed 15 to 20,000 Americans. And that was only one day. Can you imagine the pressure? And just no matter what you do, you have to pick the best option out of sometimes a list of really, really bad options. I'm just using Lincoln as an example because it's an extreme one. Do you imagine Harry Truman sitting in the Oval? He has to sign the order to drop the hydrogen bomb in the first city in Japan. Can you imagine? He was given orders. He was giving projections on how many Japanese and American dead at the mainland, and he still had to make that decision to sign that order. So being president is really, really, really hard, even under the best of circumstances. And now we want Hillary Clinton. But also I say this is a present to us conservative people because of the fact that they have no bench. The Democrats, it's like you're in the playoffs. We all either follow sports or have played sports. And you have your starting team. And we'll say hockey, because I like hockey. Well, your goalie's out. So we've got to put a forward in as goalie. And then 2 or 3 of your other players go out. And the bench we have is basically just college people. They're not pros. We have to put them in. We have to fill a body just to fill a spot. And it's terrible. We have no bench. Well, the Democrats have no bench. The best they have to offer right now is Gavin Newsom in California and Hillary Clinton. That's it. All the rest of them have zero chance. And that, to me, is the greatest Christmas gift we could have ever gotten. The Democrat Party is ready to implode. They're on fire. They're on fire. And they're burning to the ground. And no one is happier than I, not because I'm a former elected Democrat in upstate New York, now Republican, is because I think for the country, the Democrat Party has gotten so bad. They are now causing so much damage to millions of people on purpose, just for power. Makes them evil. I want them to burn down to the ground and burn to ashes and then rebuild themselves and become a viable, decent party. Opposition, but having the interests of the American people at heart. A lot of Democrats used to be that way. They're not anymore. So this is the greatest president we could have got. Hillary Clinton is the best person they have on the bench. Unbelievable. Merry Christmas, everybody. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.